DIY.
Okay, DIYers, the day finally came, the 67th Grammy Awards. And like many of us, we were wondering how this day would play out for our favorite artists. Now, obviously, you can see I have the shirt on. One of my favorite artists and somebody that I have had the opportunity to work with and call a friend, and Kendrick Lamar. He was up for 5 different categories, which is insane because at one point in time, because of the nature of the song Not Like Us being a diss song, many of us were wondering if there would even be a possibility that it would be nominated. Well, of course it got nominated. And tonight it was available in 5 categories to win some possible awards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard by now, it was a clean sweep of every category. One more time. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Tonight, the culture won. And when I say the culture, I don't mean just Kendrick Lamar. I mean that there are many different fan bases that felt like they got slighted in different ways. I've talked about Beyonce and her country album and the way that CMAs made her feel like she needed to come hang out in order to even be considered for album of the year and whatnot. We're going to talk about that. Doechii went and brought in an award, a very rare one for a female MC. Lauryn Hill and Cardi B are the ones before her. And then also we got to talk about Rapsody because we covered up a story about a year ago where she talked about her aspirations to get one. But let's start here. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us breaks the record for rap song with the most Grammy wins. This is not just the most for a diss song, the most for a rap song. Song of the year, record of the year, best rap song, best rap performance, best music video. Now, I got to do this video a little bit different because, you know, your mans was out here trying to give people a streaming experience. That sounds crazy. I was trying to share the show with my friends. That's even crazier. Whatever. YouTube has striked my channel up. And so, you know, I got to sit on the bench for a little bit when it comes to streaming. We'll see if that plays out soon. I don't know. However it is, I can still get these videos off, and we got to talk about it. So I'm not going to play any of the clips of the interview. Some really interesting things were said, and I'm going to try to catch what I can catch in the midst of this. I thought this was pretty funny, too, in the midst of all the stuff that was going on with the awards. He was just picking up awards left and right. Some of them were on camera. Some of them were off camera. Boy, oh, boy. Hines decided they want to get into the mix of things. Copyright. I mean, but is it a surprise? This song, Not Like Us, got into so many different subcultures and groups, right? I mean, the Democratic convention, the Republican convention, they can't never agree on nothing. They agreed on Not Like Us. The marching bands, the pastors, they not like us, or they not like us. It went everywhere. It became bigger than just the topic of the conversation, the song. So it's no surprise that it pulled in all the awards that it did. It is insane, man. We got to salute him one more time, one more time, fam. This is insane. Hey, yo, DIYer, if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps this video and this channel get discovered by new people. I appreciate you. Now back to the video. Okay, and since I can't play the speech, I'm going to go ahead and just read it here at this article on Complex where they wrote it out. He says, first and foremost, all praise to the Most High. We woke up this morning. Rest in paradise, my auntie Shannon. She transitioned yesterday, so this is special. Man, I can imagine all the emotions that go after losing someone and then having this celebratory moment. Lamar goes on to dedicate this award to the city, specifically shouting out Compton, Watts, Long Beach, Inglewood, Hollywood, the Valley, and more. Not just the Valley, he shouted out the Inland Empire. He said San Bernardino. As somebody that's lived in the IE, you got to understand how much that means to the IE, that he even acknowledged it. A lot of folks try to kind of push the Inland Empire almost like country cousins that don't exist in comparison to the LA, in comparison to LA. So him saying that means the world to a lot of folks. He said, this is my neck of the woods that held me down since a young pup, since I was in the studio scrapping to write the best raps and do records like these. since I was a young pup, since I was in the studio scrapping to write the best raps. Scrapping. That wasn't no subliminal to CJ Fly, who did the Scrappy on the Joey Bat. Okay, let's not be bad. Let's keep going. We are the culture. To the young artists, respect the art form. That's all. Respect the art form, and it'll get you to where you need to go. Man, he even shouted out, of course, his Black Hippie brothers. He shouted out Glasses Malone, who, if you don't know, Glasses Malone has been an important piece to not only his career and many other West Coast artists, but myself as well. He's somebody that has been sometimes a mentor away from, the public eye, but somebody who set up a lot of West Coast artists to win. He was one of my first placements, him and Mac 10. So gets the award, gives that speech. The thing that I love the most, because he shouted out the homie Daylight, he shouted out, of course, Ab-Soul. He didn't even make it about the person that the song was about. This is something funny too. He always full of extra messages. You know what they call an all denim suit? I said Canadian tuxedo.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
We gotta find a different word for diabolical, because this is yeah. Wow, that light skinned Canadian is somewhere needing a max win in Australia. This is happening. So, man, salute to him. This is about to be the greatest run for a rapper that we have ever seen. Maybe in a calendar year, maybe even in a 1 week span, because the Super Bowl is still next week. So he gets a surge. So you trying to tell me Not Like Us could be number one again? And then after the Super Bowl, it gets another 500, 700% surge. Yeah, this is why you don't try to be suing nobody over at UMG, because they're going to make sure it gets whatever amplification it needs. Not that it needs their extra boost, but good googly mo. Yeah, it's all bad. Well, let me stay away from these clips and keep on cooking. All right, so, man, all these categories, including best music video. Let's actually get here to the other list so that we can talk about some of the other artists that are here. So, album of the year was Cowboy Carter, Beyonce. Shout out to her. It was really unfortunate to see the way that the CMAs slighted her and didn't even give her an opportunity to be acknowledged for the work that she's doing, even though it did the numbers that it did, even though it, hit the different parameters that they require in order for it to be considered. Record of the year, Not Like Us. Song of the year, Not Like Us. Best new artist, Chappelle Roan. Best rap album, Alligator Bites Never Hear. Oh, come on, Doechii.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
As I mentioned before, joining Elite company with, of course, Lauryn Hill, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and of course Cardi B in her debut project. Let's keep on going. I mean, some of these categories may interest you more than they do me, but those were the main ones. Man, 5 out of 5. Rapsody wins her first Grammy Award. Let me see if I can play a little bit of this.
We get all of you.
Ooh, I've been holding on to these cowrie shells tight all morning. I'm still trying to process it.
Man.
But I'm overjoyed.
By the way, she won for the best melodic rap performance for 3 a.m. featuring Erykah Badu. Man, shout out to the Jamla Squad. Shout out to her label. Shout out to everybody who contributed to that moment. I know that was a big moment because, as I'm going to show you in a video, she talked about it, like having aspirations, even though she makes music that's not necessarily for a commercial audience. She still has aspirations to see success that a Queen Latifah has seen in her time. And so to see this moment, I'm sure, is just like, it's showing the power of a belief in an idea.
I feel full. I feel aligned. I feel in the light. I'm grateful though. Like, my team worked so hard, to have this moment. This is my manager's first Grammy win with me. Like, to celebrate her. Everybody that just poured into me, and to win it with two people that I love so much, and Erykah Badu and S1. And
shout out to S1. S1 got a Grammy. I'm pretty sure that's probably another. I'm pretty sure S1. He's worked with Kanye and the different people, but that's a hell of a combination to make that happen.
Jamarcus Bridges and Lone Star, and to do it authentically. I stayed on assignment. I didn't have to change.
Come on.
I didn't have to chase anything.
Can we go back to this clip really quick? I'm very cautious about how much I'm playing of these clips because I'm not trying to get flagged down. They got your boy. Hey, free Curtis King till it's backwards. Free Curtis King till it's backwards. Oh, man. Watch this clip.
As a person that clearly never had the intention to compete in that overly commercial hit radio formula what were you looking at in terms of your path and like how this was going to be? Like, what was your plan around sustaining yourself?
The crazy thing is, I wanted those things. I wanted the platinum plaques, I wanted the radio hits, right?
This is a year, almost a year to the day, which is insane. And she won a Grammy the year later. Check it out.
But I wanted them how I knew them when I grew up, you know, watching Lauryn Hill get all those Grammys, you know, seeing, you know, Queen Latifah's success, you know, with UNITY, things like that. Like, that idea of that not existing for me still, you know, I would see like it was a ringtone era and, you know, I saw it, but there was still this belief in me like, nah, there's still space for this. Somebody has to want this.
Come on.
And I think I just never let go of that idea that it was possible.
And it happened. It happened. Rapsody, it happened. Sis, it happened. It happened. It happened. Couldn't be prouder. My light's cutting off. I couldn't be prouder. Could not be prouder. Man, I remember seeing Rapsody when she was part of a group called Cooley High, and she came to Riverside, and she was absolutely a standout in the group. The group was really dope, but she was a standout in the group, and I remember everybody in there was like, yo, she's going to be something special. Had no idea it would become the Rapsody that we know today. Was she for sure got her dub. Insane. So, you know, I'm looking at this, man, and I'm just, I'm really beside myself, man, because, you know, I'm thinking about there's a lot of people who have poured into the experiences of these artists. And, you know, I haven't always had sort of the most positive viewpoints of the Grammys, just like a lot of hip hop fans, right? Because there's been times where it felt like they kind of exited hip hop out of the conversation entirely. There was a time where they didn't even play anything in terms of awards won in the rap categories. They'd play them during the commercial break. They'd announce them during the commercial break. Now it's crazy that it was one of the first awards that got announced today. It's just showing you how much things are shifting around. I think a lot of people saw that the voters weren't properly representing hip hop or what they saw as hip hop. And a lot of folks stepped up and said, hey, I'm going to join the board and be a voter. And years and years later, you're seeing that be reflected in the type of artists that are being selected. Man, it is insane to look at all these elements that are so connected to hip hop itself be celebrated like this. And I'm just like, man, I'm beside myself. With that said, though, you know, it's got me thinking about what the future holds for music. I really feel like this is about to be one of the greatest Black History Months we've ever seen, because it's getting ready to be probably the most chaotic next 3 to 4 years. It's not a political statement. That's just a matter of the climate and where the world is heading anyways. These wins sometimes are far and few in between, especially when it's wins for the culture, but the culture always wins. It means something when you come from somewhere and people look at you as a legitimate representative of that said place. And it's insane, man, because I know as I look in here in the comments when they pop up, it's going to be folks like, man, chill out on the glazing, D1 glazing. And I'm like, it's so unfortunate that there's young men who have never received respect and love, or they're not able to receive it. And when you give props to somebody else, they immediately go there first. I don't know why that's on your mind, which is kind of freaky to begin with. But it's unfortunate that they're not able to celebrate in these moments. But especially with somebody like Kendrick, who's celebrating more than just a rap battle. This feels like it's way beyond a rap battle at this point. Seeing him not even mention the guy. Don't need to. This is a victory lap. 5 Grammys, most that a rap song has ever been nominated for, is absolutely insane. And man, I appreciate all of y'all that was riding dirty with me on the live stream. That's crazy, Curtis. Walk that back. I appreciate you, those who are risking it. You know, hey, it was well worth it. DIYers, those are my thoughts on this. I think the culture is in really good hands. We haven't even got to the Super Bowl yet. Good gosh. The people are asking for music that makes them feel something. The people are asking for music that makes them feel something because for many, many years, not one person's to blame, a lot of people are to blame. It got numb. People didn't sound like they were from any region. They didn't sound like they had a home that they were from. They'd yell it out a few times, but music just didn't sound regional anymore. And that's one of the cheat codes, especially of hip hop music, is here I am on the West Coast. I want to know what it's like to be in Florida, right? So that's why it's dope to hear Doechii expose listeners to sounds there. It was dope the first time I heard Nas Illmatic, and then I went out to New York and I went by the subways and I listened to it as an adult, and I was like, damn, I have context now. Regional music matters, even beyond regional, right? Because I don't want to limit anybody. I think music from the heart. People want to feel something. Shit is tough out here financially. People want music that sticks to their bones, almost like soul food. The question is, if you're somebody that makes music, are you prepared to do that? If you're somebody who just looks at music as something that's an easy lick, I'm telling you right now, and I don't have to tell you because it's going to happen, it's going to get real, real difficult out here for you. You got to do more than just the bells and whistles. You got to do more than just copy your favorite artist. That's why ChatGPT exists already. Your job's taken. You got to really get out here and create something. This is not about being lyrical miracle. You got to get out here and make something that sticks with people. And how do you do that? You do something that affects them on an emotional level. DIYers, those are my thoughts. You let me know what you think. Free Curtis King till it's backwards. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.